I wanted to make this post cap kind of a recap of today's trading session, the loss that I took. When I ended the recap, I was down $600. Well, I went back in and then I lost another $400. So my net loss for the day is $1,000, which no, it does not feel good. I kind of feel like an idiot, but that's the game, right? What's that saying? There's a saying that the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. So that's why you always need to honor thy stop and walk away and set some ground rules as to when you face losses, what will be the stopping point? Because you could do what I did, which was basically go a little bit insane today with the tech issues that I was having, trying to get a winning trade and really not winning anything other than just being aggravated. So here's a kind of breakdown of the action that we had today, August 2nd. We initially started coming up in early pre-market. Let me just flip back to a 5-minute chart here so you can see. So the overnight session, we kept kind of trending downwards. So I had this trend line drawn from yesterday that the overnight session was respecting. And then when we got into pre-market, I say pre-market's 5 a.m. My time. It can be 4 a.m., it could be 5 a.m., it could be 6 a.m., it could be whatever you want. But to me, that's just kind of how I look at pre-market. So then when we started getting into pre-market, we started moving upwards. We had a little down move, and then we really started to move upward in pre-market, getting closer to the open. So this is a 5-minute chart, and you can see my craziness here with the buy and sells, which caused me to lose another $400. So what we did here on the open, so I have the sessions divided out into ranges, and I'm going to switch to a clearer view so you can see this a little bit better. So this is on a 5-minute, and on a 5-minute chart, what we see happening, let me move this to 15 minutes. I think that'll be a little bit clearer and easier for everybody to see. So what we have happening in after hours is we have a solid trend, a solid downtrend, right? It's this trend right here that we're kind of wedging down, which could indicate a move up, which it does, right? So Asia opens, we move down. London opens, we move even further down to 40.85. And pre-market, which I mark as 6 o'clock in the morning, pre-market, we kind of consolidate around this area, 40.96, and then we start to move up. So we start to move up from 40.90.75 all the way up to 41.04, right? So then here's what happens when we open. When we open, we take a nice little dump down right here, and then we move up, and then we move up successively. So where I got chopped up, and I'm going to change this to 5 minutes so we can see it better. Where I got chopped up was this level. And of course, hindsight is always 20/20, right? So I'm looking at the market developing and I'm thinking, okay, we're going to go down to this 40-80 level, which we did, but then we bounced up. But all the while, we were really consolidating in this, it's almost like a 20-point range, right? 4105 to 4088. Yeah, it's around a 20-point. I can't do the math. My brain is dead right now. It's a 20-point range that we're consolidating in. And we are just sitting here for the first hour. So this is the first half hour. It's pure consolidation, pure chop. It should be avoided. This is the second half hour. This is 9 o'clock to 9:30. I'm on Central Time, so I'm an hour behind Eastern. So then we chop around some more, and then we start to move up. Now, what I could have done had I been looking at this more rationally and had I had my levels a little bit better mapped out for myself. My levels were pretty dead on, but I don't think I saw, I wasn't looking at the broader picture, right? Which is something that you have to do. So what I could have done was once we broke out of this consolidation and stayed above it at 4105, I could have played this momentum move upward to 4126. And that would have been a nice 19-point move upward. That would have been a really good, easy, stress-free trade. If you find that you're struggling in your trading, like how I struggled in mine today, just walk away or set a limit. And I'll go over how to recover from a trading loss, my thoughts on that in a minute. And then here at the 10 o'clock hour, we basically go back down. If you look at this on a 15, it's probably going to look like a doji. Let's see. So on a 15-minute, it is, well, maybe on a 30-minute, it'll look like a doji. Yeah, here we go. So on a 30-minute, you can see right here, it's a big doji, and this is another doji. And doji just means indecision. It means the market doesn't really know what it wants to do. And at this point, the buyers and sellers are agreeing on price between 4108 to 4123. So this is really a stay out of area. And it's why I mark consolidations in yellow, because they are truly a just stay out of it area. Let the buyers and sellers figure out what they want to do. And then when one party takes control, go with the party that's in control. So at this point, the buyers took over and they moved the market up. And then we had another doji right here. So we had a move up on when London closed. And then we had a subsequent move down when we were in the middle of the afternoon, right? So lunch hour, you're having your martini and watching the screen. I don't do that, not all the time. And then we end up back into consolidation around the rest of the day, like early in the afternoon. We are flat out in consolidation, and this will give you a lot of grief as well. So when you see activity like this, the best thing to do is go and do something else. Like go and practice charting, look at your levels, sim trade if you feel the need to press buttons. That's what I do sometimes. That's what I should have done today, is just switch into my sim account and paper traded and saw what was happening. So here we have everything pretty much consolidating. Now we're in power hour. Power hour is the last hour of the market. And normally you can expect some decent type move to happen. The move normally happens kind of closer to the last 30 minutes of power hour to 15 minutes before the market's getting ready to close. So you can see here, you could have literally waited all day and you could have played power hour down to this level right here, 40.91 to 41.09. It would have given you a decent move, and there was strong selling volume in here. And now we're back in consolidation again. So this is how I analyze the market movements. I hope it's helpful. And I just wanted to share this document that I created for you. And it's how to recover from a trading loss. It's something that I do. One thing that's super important is process over profits. You can do everything right and still lose. Case in point, today, I'm sure you've had trades where you did everything right and you still lost. It happens. So at that point, you just kind of need to be able to control what you can and let go of the rest. So some of the biggest traders that I know and I've mentored with, or I've been a part of their programs, they lose a lot. I mean, they lose massive amounts of money. There's one trader, Trader Tom, he's on YouTube. He's amazing. He shares a story of when he lost about 96,000 pounds or something on Christmas Day. Crazy, but nobody would have ever known. So control what you can and let go of the rest. There's a saying that the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. So understand that you have no control in the market. You're a retail trader. You're not moving candles. That's the institutions and the banks doing that, and massive traders, not you. So go with the flow and realize that control is an illusion. Now, here's something that I have set up in my account that I didn't have set up before, is a daily loss limit. This is the max you will allow yourself to lose per day. And in a lot of trading accounts, you can set this in the risk settings, where you can say, if I lose more than $500 in a day, liquidate my account, meaning it'll just close out all your positions and you'll convert to cash, and then you won't be able to do any more trades for that day. And although that sounds like, oh my God, I can't trade, trust me, it will save you a lot of money. I took it off of my TradeEvade account, and I wish I kept it on, because when I had that tech glitch, it would have kicked in automatically, because that kicks in above everything else. And I would have just went about my day, right? I would have been annoyed, but I would have went about my day. The next thing is set a max trade limit. Will you allow yourself to trade 3 times per session or per day? Maybe you decide you'll take 3 trades between the open and 11 o'clock. Maybe you'll take another 3 trades from 11 to 1. Maybe from 1 to power hour, you're going to take another 3 trades. But just create some rules for yourself. My rule for this now is I will allow myself a max of 4 trades per on the open. So I don't trade the open, but I trade after the open, right? So like the half hour after, I trade till about 11 o'clock. So my rule is now it's a max of 4 trades. If I don't win in those 4 trades, I'm done. This, be a better loser, corresponds to number 2. The most successful traders are the best losers. Consider it the cost of market tuition. You know, to be a doctor, to be a lawyer, to be a highly skilled professional, you have to sit exams. You have to go through a lot of different criteria. But to be a day trader, you just open up an account, fund it, and boom, you're off to the races. Nobody's stopping you to say, hey, do you really know what you're doing? When I was younger, I was a licensed stockbroker. I had a Series 63, a Series 7. I had to study for those things a lot. There was a lot of controls and criteria I had to follow as a licensed stockbroker. Being a retail trader is so easy. That's why it's also like dangerous as well. You can lose a lot if you're not careful. So just understand that losing, some of the best traders are the biggest losers. So you have to lose to win. Create a risk management guardian. This is if you're kind of solo, or if you have a trusted mentor, create a persona or a trusted mentor that you can use as a sounding board to analyze your losses, because it's so fun to go over your wins, but you need to talk to somebody about your losses as well. I have a persona in my head that I relate to. She is one of the top wealth managers in the world. And I kind of think, what would she do? And no, it's not Kathy, if that's who you're thinking of. It's not her. And I think, would she act like this? Would she react like this? Would she do this? And the answer is no. Like today, she would not have let today happen. She would have shut it down or come back later or do something else. So it's kind of like, what would Oprah do, right? Or what would Jesus do? Like, whatever you believe in, that trusted person, put yourself if they were doing your trading. Next up is identify the type of day that we're having. Are we range bound? Are we choppy? Is it a reversal? Is it a breakout? What is the type of day that we're having? So today we were just in this range of 41.42 to 40.90. So we were in this 40-point range that just actually almost 50-point range that just kind of kept consolidating. It was consolidating in 20-point levels, right? This was a 20-point level. This was a 10-point level, and then it would go to 10-point levels that it was consolidating it. So we were really choppy. We had a little bit of directional moves, but really no continuation. So that's, track how well you do on those different types of days. Like on choppy days, are you in and out really quick, or are you just getting destroyed? And then as you see what the day is, and okay, on reversal days I do really well, then hit it hard. But if on range days you just get chopped up and you don't make any money, don't play it. Don't do it. The next thing is, does your bias mislead you? So I was going into today thinking that we were going to break down, which we ultimately did. But we also went up, we went sideways, we went down, and then we went sideways again. So I'm working on having my bias be more neutral. I mean, it's good to have a bias. It's good to have a thought and a projection that you can say, okay, this is my thinking, but then you've got to trade what you see. Did you go on tilt? I kind of went on tilt because I was irritated with the tech glitches. Were there other opportunities you could have traded today that would have made you profitable? And then break this down into time frames and see what's what. See, are you better trading in the morning session? Are you better trading like early afternoon? Are you better when it's a little slower, 1 to 3? Are you better in power hour? Just figure it out. Figure out what you do best. A lot of this is documentation, right? You're going to have to really take notes, really document what you're doing. What I personally do is I have my own personal Discord. Nobody's in that but me. And I screenshot all my trades. I write my notes. I write my morning plan. I write my levels. I write my recaps. I have like 1,000 charts in there that I look at. It's free to make your own Discord to track your trading because you're going to need that historical data to start creating pattern recognition when you're seeing how you're doing in trading. So I hope that helps, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And just know that anything can happen when you're scalping and trading, and it's important to know how to recover from a trading loss. So I hope this helped. Thanks. Oh, please like and subscribe if you like this content. I'm new to YouTube, so my videos aren't the best, but I feel they're educational, they're helpful. So please like and subscribe and share it with a friend if you found this content useful. Thank you.